the Flat Earth documentary. Which,
beautiful. Another beauty.
Have you seen this?
No, I don't think I have actually.
I thought it was Joe told me to watch it. It is actually a really good watch.
Yeah.
But fuck me, some of the people on it. and I've got to say this: the people on it, they are not stupid at all. Like the majority of the people who believe in flat Earth, they are not stupid. They're very, very intelligent people.
I mean,
but some of their they're very clever on just they're full of knowledge which is just false, and they've convinced themselves that it's true.
Yeah, I think it's easy to. Well, it's like so when people say something like, "Oh, Donald Trump's an idiot,"
Yeah.
or any sort of someone I deem to be an adversary of mine is an idiot. You should never
do that.
Underestimate your opponents, because that's how they go on to win. You know, if you think people are stupid, I think, and I genuinely believe that's one of the reasons why Brexit went through.
Yeah.
It's because everyone's like, if you vote for Brexit, you're a fool, you're
Trump,
stupid.
yeah.
And the same thing for Trump as well. Yeah,
Same thing with Trump as well.
Yeah, it's sort of a similar thing with this flat Earth thing. Like if people in authority who people don't already trust start saying, if you believe in the flat Earth, you're an idiot, people will sort of flock to it and they'll be interested in it.
But it's the few of them who don't, like the guys who've done all the experiments. Like they are really, I didn't think of them. You're really intelligent
good experiments.
The one with the one with the light over a certain distance and the one with the gyroscope.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that they prove that flat Earth isn't a thing, and then they just say, oh no, we've done the experiments, but the experiment was wrong. The actual thing isn't wrong.
Yeah, like they do the experiment. I think my favourite was the gyroscope.
They put it in a Byzantine tube. What the fuck is a Byzantine tube?
Well, they'd say that, like, for those who don't know, it was a gyroscope. It moves in rotation with the Earth, right?
Yeah.
So they set up
15
degrees per hour, because 360 degrees, 24 hours.
Yes, cool.
Right, so it's up to 360. So it said, right, if the Earth does rotate, the gyroscope will move by 15 degrees, and you go, yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. And then you're thinking in your head, the way the documentary frames it anyway, you think, oh yeah, no, it'll be, they'll prove it somehow, and then there'll be some weird science explanation you have to figure out. But no, it happens. It moves 15 degrees, and then instead of that, thinking
they spent 20 grand on this
gyroscope.
gyroscope.
Yeah.
So
No, gyroscopes are pretty high tech ones anyway. They're pretty expensive, but and then it fails, and they're like, okay, right. So it's probably the tube. Maybe it was an air interaction. And you're like, okay, all right, you know what? Do it again. They put it in a sealed tube.
Yeah.
And then I think it was a stainless steel tube, and then they go, oh, okay. So they repeat the experiment, get the same result, and then they go, oh, okay, well that hasn't worked.
It's the heaven energies.
It's the heaven energies that have been sent for. And you just think, well, okay, you've lost your credibility there. Then they did the laser one, didn't they?
The laser one was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because the guy was like, but like this will prove that it's flat because it's a straight line. We can see it's a straight line.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, it wasn't a straight line because it did curve, but as well.
It's a curve. Because you told me that the ancient Greeks invented that. Primitive
form. Yeah, it was.
Primitive form of it.
Oh, who was that? I think it might have been Socrates. You know. Anyway, basically sticking the
friend of the channel.
He loves it. It's dust in the wind.
I got all my knowledge from him, but we won't talk about it.
Yeah, Socrates. Yeah, no, basically. Yeah, stuck a stick in the ground, and this is like nearly,
that's a couple of thousand years ago.
Yeah, 3,000 years ago.
Yeah,
3,000 years ago. Stuck a stick up the top of the Nile, stuck a stick down the bottom of the Nile, and then at the same time measured the shadows. One shadow was longer than the other. Okay, the Earth is curved, and then they worked out the curvature of the Earth within 200 miles or something, which is pretty good for this.
That's fucking mental.
I think it sort of started off as like a. Now I can appreciate not necessarily listening to all knowledge from authority.
Oh yeah, you're not.
And I think that's how it started.
You shouldn't.
I mean,
really.
You should question most things.
You should accept, like, they say something, you listen to it, then you question it. You don't just follow it blindly.
But as well, like if we let's go to like a base knowledge zone. Let's pretend we don't know anything and we assume everything from NASA's doctored and photoed, whatever. We can go and figure out that the Earth has a curve right now in Brighton. We can go down to the seafront and we can look at those wind turbines. And as the fans rotate, I think that I don't know, I'm not quite sure if they're short enough and long enough or not to dip under the horizon, but they have to be far out enough where you can go like that, squat down, and it will disappear under the horizon, right? Because the Earth's got a curve.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so.
Yeah. He's looking at Seattle, isn't he? You can see Seattle from the distance, and he goes, "Look, you can see Seattle. I can see every single one of those buildings if it was
You can't see the
curved."
bottom of the building, so can you? That's the point.
They're fucking skyscrapers.
God.
You can see all. Oh.
It's like you can't see France from the channel.
No,
you can't
no.
even see France from the
No.
channel.
Like
so
even like the big, well, obviously in Brighton we've got the British
Yeah.
Airways like I-360
Oh,
whatever.
360,
You can't
yeah.
even see it from there sometimes. Like it's
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
ridiculous. But it's heat energy. It's
Anyway,
whatever.
shout out to all flat earthers
Yeah.
and other hot potatoes.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We have similar friend groups.
No, yeah.
We do.
I admire them. You know,
Yeah,
keep
I
doing
mean,
what you're doing.
you have something what you
Very-
believe in, and that's what's important. Like,
Delusional.
Yes.
it keeps you off the streets.
As well.
What the
Why? Why would someone lie about it?
fuck? Can I?
It doesn't make sense, does it? Like what? Like if there was like.
what's there to gain? That's what I don't get.
That's
What
the point.
is
Yeah.
there
What?
to
What
gain?
is there?
What gets me is that like
Ah.
so the Antarctic is being an ice wall, right?
God.
Right, right. If this is what they want to believe, they can believe
Yeah.
it. But one, you look at that and go Game of Thrones, right? you do. It's a
Yeah.
fact, but don't. The guy admits it. He goes, "There's an ice wall like Game of Thrones."
Game of Thrones
Please
style.
don't say that because you're making it look like it's fiction.
You're like
anyway.
those annoying teenagers that think Harry Potter's real.
Oh, fuck me. Read
What house? are
read
you?
another book. Anyway.
That's a society I'm going to start.
Yeah.
Read another book.
And
society.
also, what gets me is so basically he says that the ice wall is based off Game of Thrones, pretty much. Not well, it's the same as Game of Thrones to get more of. An
well, I guess Game of Thrones based it off the ice wall. The ice wall was probably there first.
Yeah. Yes. But what gets me is when the guy's in the car and he's bringing out all of the books which he's read, which persuaded him about flat Earth. He brings out a load of other books which are like flat Earth scientists.
Oh, you can't see, but what we're doing is quotation.
Quotation marks. But then he brings up 1984. 1984 is fiction.
Oh yeah, no, but I get why he's read that. That's like a message about not trusting information from the man.
Yes.
You know, I don't.
Facts,
I
but
don't.
1984 is a fiction in a dystopian in a dystopian world.
We do live in a dystopian world.
We do.
Plot twist.
World fucked.
I don't believe the Earth actually exists. I'm part of the. We're on Mars.
We're on the Matrix.
Nah, don't do that to me.
We're in a-
Don't
we're
say
in
that.
a-
It's gonna
we're in a-
confuse my brain.
What's that quote from Alex Jones? The
Coward.
coward. No, I'm in a artificial matrix grid, and they're uploading an extermination program or something like that. What does he say? Or something like he said.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, but yeah, flat Earth.
You're wrong.
It's true, and the
Wrong.
Earth is
You're
flat.
wrong.
Probably
Why is wrong?
looks flat.
You weirdo.
It annoys me as well. Where's the sun go? Like when it's
Oh no, it's like that, isn't it?
because there'd be a bit. Well, there's a bit.
But the lunar eclipse technically can't happen, and then in the documentary they go and watch the lunar eclipse.
No, that's just a shadowy orb that orbits as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's up for some. I don't know.
It's just.
Donut Earth. that'd
Oh,
be cool.
don't know. If
I,
anything, I believe that one.
Is that possible?
Must be.
Maybe.
it's just fucking hilarious.
You see donuts in real life, don't you? So
You do, like,
Yeah.
why not scale it up?
If anything, you just want to eat it.
If I could control rewind, I'd have Flat Earth and Elon Musk.
That's a good point though as well. Look where the thing is on the globe.
Yeah, look, and then they've pointed it out there.
Gravity?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, interesting.
If I throw up a ball in the car, why doesn't it fly out my back window?
It could be like a cylinder. Like a cylinder Earth, like the two sides are flat.
I want a
And then
triangle.
there's like
I
a
want a
round
pyramid Earth. How else would the aliens know how to build pyramids on
That's a
Earth?
good point. That's a good point.
That is
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Liars. That's our lies.